The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, The Future of India, addressed by Swami Vivekananda, Part 2. We see how in Asia, and especially in India, race difficulties, linguistic difficulties, social difficulties, national difficulties all melt away before this unifying power of religion. We know that to the Indian mind, there is nothing higher than religious ideals, and that is the keynote of Indian life. And we can only work in the line of least resistance. It is not only true that the ideal of religion is the highest ideal in the case of India, it is the only possible means of work. Work in any other line without first strengthening this would be disastrous. Therefore, the first plank in making the future of India, the first step that is to be hewn out of the rock of ages, is that unification of religion. All of us have to be taught that we Hindus, dualists, qualified monoists or monoists, Shaivas, Vaishnavas or Pashupatas, to whatever denomination we may belong, have certain common ideas behind us. And that the time has come when, for the well being of ourselves, for the well being of our race, we must give up all our little quarrels and differences. Be sure that these quarrels are entirely wrong. They are condemned by our scriptures, forbidden by our forefathers, and those great men from whom we claim our descent, whose blood is in our veins, look down with contempt on their children quarreling over minute differences. With the giving up of quarrels, all other improvements will come. When the lifeblood is strong and pure, no disease germ can live in that body. Our lifeblood is spirituality. If it flows clear, if it flows strong and pure and vigorous, everything is right. Political, social, and other material defects, even the poverty of the land, will all be cured if that blood is pure. For if the disease germ is to be thrown out, nothing will be able to enter into the blood. To take a simile from modern medicine, we know that there must be two causes to produce a disease: some poison germ outside and the state of the body. Until the body is in a state to admit the germs, until the body is degraded to a lower vitality so that the germs may enter and thrive and multiply, there is no power in any germ in the world to produce a disease in the body. In fact, millions of germs are continually passing through everyone's body, but so long as it is vigorous, it is never even conscious of them. It is only when the body is weak that these germs take possession of it and produce disease. Just so with national life. When the national body is weak, then all sorts of disease germs in the political state of the race, or in its social state, in its educational or intellectual state, crowd into the system and produce disease. To remedy it, therefore, we must go to the root of this disease and cleanse the blood of all impurities. The one tendency will be to strengthen the man, to make the blood pure, the body vigorous, so that it will be able to resist and throw off all external poisons. We have seen that our vigor, our strength, nay, our national life, is in our religion. I am not going to discuss now whether it is right or not, whether it is correct or not, whether it is beneficial or not in the long run to have this vitality in religion. But for good or evil, it is there. You cannot get out of it. You must have it now and forever. And you have to stand by it, even if you have not the same faith that I have in our religion. You are bound by it. And if you give it up, you are smashed to pieces. That is the life of our race and must be strengthened. You have withstood the shocks of centuries simply because you took great care of it you sacrificed everything for it. Your forefathers underwent everything boldly, even death itself, but preserved their religion. Temple, temple was broken down by the foreign conqueror, but no sooner had the wave passed than the spire of the temple rose up again. Some of these old temples in southern India and those like Somnath of Gujarat will teach you volumes of wisdom, will give you a keener insight into the history of the race than any amount of books. Mark how these temples bear the marks of 100 attacks and 100 regenerations, continually destroyed and continually springing out of the ruins, rejuvenated and strong as ever. That is the national mind. That is the national life current. Follow it and it leads to glory. Give it up and you die. Death will not be the only result. Annihilation will be the effect. The moment you step beyond that life current, I do not mean to say that other things are not necessary. I do not mean to say that political and social improvements are not necessary. But what I mean is this, that I want you to bear in mind that they are secondary here and that religion is primary. The Indian mind is first religious, then anything else. So this is the way to be strengthened. And how to do it? I will lay before you my ideas. They have been in my mind for a long time. Even years before I left the shores of Madras for America. And that I went to America and England was simply for propagating these ideas. I did not care at all for the Parliament of Religions or anything else. It was simply an opportunity. For it was really those ideas of mine that took me all over the world.